You didn't strike me as a settled down kind of guy. How do you prevent this one from cheating on you?
There's only 2 girls who had allegations against me. One of them's a legit star. I'll introduce you, Mike. One of her is like...
I saw one video of a girl calling you ugly.
Ugly, by the way.
Didn't you make merchandise with her face on it?
Yeah.
That's some real Jake Paul
The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. What can we make that they will buy?
Can you make a halal version of Barstool?
I don't know.
Hey, Logan, are those set for decorations or can I grab one of those?
Yeah, I need one of those prime energies, bro. Are those things? How is that prime drink, by the way?
Drink them. You ask, who are you asking?
I don't know. Just throwing it out there.
Mike's silly today.
How much equity you got in Prime?
God dang it! I don't want to start off like this, bro. Are we rolling? And we actually are rolling. Sound
You
is
didn't even
going.
get the joke, by the way, when the Super Bowl, I'm like, congrats on your Super Bowl commercial. You're like, and you're like, oh, maybe one day you'll get it. You didn't even get it. I was just like, kind of, you had like a quick cameo.
I can't start like this, bro.
You did. You did have a cameo. You
gotta
were in a Super Bowl.
I thought you were being sincere.
It wasn't your commercial.
Bro, that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. I thought you meant like you guys plus you were in it at the end. Like,
I was like, what a sweet Super Bowl commercial.
And I
you took it serious. It's like, you know, one day maybe you'll get there. It's like, what, dude? I was joking.
That's not what I said. I texted him back like 2 weeks later. I was like, yo, congrats on your new complete richness.
Yeah.
Congrats on the sale. And then he just left me on scene.
We were on
he
a live,
dissed me
we
and
were on a
left me on
live
scene.
stream. We saw that commercial, and I saw you pop up. I'm like, oh, great Super Bowl commercial.
Guys, welcome back to Impulsive, the #1 podcast in the world. Thank you for listening, watching, viewing, and subscribing. If you're not subscribed, hit that button for us. We have Dave Portnoy on the show today. Ladies and gentlemen, Dave Portnoy, Barstool Sports, still the president. How does that work
I don't
now?
know. That's just more the title. No, employee.
No way.
Yeah. They own it all now.
I mean, that's the big thing.
Yeah,
Dave.
yeah. We knew that was coming. But yeah, so my role hasn't changed at all. But I guess technically, like, I'm an employee.
Could you get fired?
Do you have something playing, Dave?
Yeah, horse
I
racing.
find that incredibly rude.
It's a horse racing with audio going on.
I bet that race is done now.
Did you win or lose?
I had the first place and have second place.
Did you bet on the Barstool Sports book?
No, not with horse racing.
God dang it.
I tried so hard.
No, not with horse racing.
I'm a Barstool ambassador, as you know, Dave. You
you
hired
wore
me.
the hat. Yeah, you wore the hat. Wore the hat during your brother's fight.
I feel like I'm sort of becoming like a NASCAR car with brands.
Yeah, you always. You're the king of that. I mean, the Prime's everywhere.
It's Prime in Barstool.
Yeah. No, you're very good at that. I almost brought High Noon as one of my guys.
You should
I
have.
generally don't like bring it. I knew you'd have it, but the tequilas are fire. So
I
they
just saw
released-
you not
they're
tequila.
fire. They're
We got
fire.
a lot to talk about.
So
I
I don't
just
even know
now
how to
just
start, dude.
glanced
There's-
over 7 topics.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's start with the big one
The
that we
sale,
started with.
the
The
sale,
sale. You
yeah.
sold Barstool for what, 540?
The total
million?
came out 610 million. But it was also this recent part when I was on here with you guys last time. It was always kind of so when Penn bought it, the plan, they knew what was happening, basically. It was a slow sale. But so, you're getting all the congratulations, which I do appreciate. But I knew it was coming. Something drastically would have had to have gone bad for it not to happen.
Well, there was a section there where something pretty fucking bad happened with you.
A bunch, I guess. There's
Yeah.
You're not, just floating through the universe, non-controversial.
Yeah, so it's like it's all relative with me because so much shit happens. It's all degrees. Like getting accused of being like a fucking basically.
Yeah, that's tough.
But that happened early. That happened like right at the beginning. So that wasn't really part. Like they knew that wasn't a big. Well, I guess no, that was during the part of it. So that shows you how much shit I'm in. It's like I lose track of it all. That's ancient history now for me. But yeah, I guess I went through that. And then the New York Times, I talked to you a little bit. They spent a year in like doing an investigation on me, like a full fucking year. And the New York Times, this lady was a savage. Like she had a Pulitzer. She, like Bill O'Reilly got in a whole fucking ton of trouble with Fox News. She was the one who did all that. But I have no skeleton, so they really didn't find anything. But they tried.
Did that hurt? Did
What's
that
that?
hurt like your integrity, like with people that
The
you
first
know
one,
and love?
the first one did because it's just made up. It to a degree it's just more scary because somebody can say something about you,
Yeah.
and when I say there's 0.00000 element of truth to what was like written about me the first time, there's zero. Like I hooked up with the girls, but none of And it's bullshit. And worse than that, like I start unraveling where it came from. And to me, it's pretty obvious where it came from, but nobody gives a fuck. Like it was some of my arch enemies really deeply involved in, and I got a lot of enemies. I mean,
you've cracked a lot of bottles.
Champagne
Yeah,
bottles.
yeah,
Yeah,
right.
There is an update to the story though, because you had a lawsuit brewing against Insider. Who's
Yeah, I
like
sued
that's your like more Insider's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
your more
I lost
fucking.
that
What's that
lawsuit.
scumbag fucking dude's name again?
Blodgett, Henry Blodgett,
Yeah.
who's a legitimate crook. Like when I say, sometimes I throw so many things out there, but like he literally got kicked off Wall Street because what he was doing. Let's say, just take any stock. Let's say Prime. All right. Say Prime was publicly traded, or Barstool, or anybody.
Okay.
He was basically going out and saying publicly, buy this stock is great. And then they had emails of him being like, this stock sucks. So they brought that up. He got kicked off Wall Street, never can trade. That's who runs this fucking company. And they're a paparazzi operation. They own like this thing, I think it's called Bilk in Germany. That is literally, that is what they do.
We got a German big news outlet.
Yeah, and that is it's like the
What, they're pumping
paparazzis.
dumpers?
They sensationalize shit for celebrities. It's like big headlines to get page views. So they did the thing with me, and then you had to pay to read it. So yeah, that I sued them.
But you just did you drop the lawsuit?
So
Because
what-
that's the news. That's the news today.
Well,
I'm trying
yeah,
to bring
that's
it
a little.
recent.
So originally I lost. Like
Okay.
you, basically what you have to do, we file the lawsuit, and then it goes in front of the judge, and the judge basically wouldn't even look at it. It had nothing to do with the facts.
Was it defamation?
Was it? Yes, it was defamation. Is basically no. I don't think it was actually defamation. Basically, we had to prove Business Insider flat lied, and to do that, it would have to be like they printed Dave Portnoy was in jail. I never went to jail, but everything they said, they're like, well, the girl just told us. It's not basically in the report. The judge said like incompetence is not against the law.
Right.
Like your public figure, everything they're saying you agree with. It's like, did you have sex with the girl? Yes. 5 years later, how do you prove that she wasn't uncomfortable in her brain? And I want to turn all the emails. I want to see all the communications. I couldn't get to that point. I boiled it down like this. Johnny Depp, the Amber Heard case, he sued the newspaper first and lost. And then he's like, fuck that, I'm going after Amber. Because the newspaper, which is the Washington Post, and he sued somebody, the Sun or something, they can always be like, we just listened to what they said. Like we it's not our job to be the fact checkers.
Because they had text messages, they had all that stuff.
They had a couple, but my thing was always like, all right, you have communications with me, sometimes graphic, being like, hey, come over and let's fuck. Like they posted those.
Yeah.
But I have like 20 after we had sex being like, hey, let's hang out. I had a great time.
Not posted.
Those weren't
Yeah,
posted.
yeah,
So I'm
classic.
like, how do you have
Cherry
half the,
picking.
right? How do you had to have had all the messages. You didn't post anything positive for me. It was all, and there wasn't one thing for me that would support my case. So it's like, how is that possible? That to me proves you had an agenda. That's what we're suing, that there was actual malice.
But isn't that just representative of media direction in general right now? Like every story that's told is one-sided.
Yeah, it's crazy. And that's what happened with the New York Times thing. So after this, which I feel like anybody who like logically looked at the facts of the case, I mean, we've told you there's this, everyone knows the Call Her Daddy shit, right? That's a well-documented thing.
Rooftop meetups.
Yeah. And Sofia Franklyn, who probably doesn't like me, and I did hear her say the other day she didn't think I did anything wrong, but whatever. She brought this kid, the MILF Hunter. Anybody who watched that show, he's like the kid who wore the mask.
Yeah.
His name's Mooch. He used to work for me. I hate him
Bro,
too.
me and Dave have talked. About this on shows about 12 times.
I
bro.
hate
He
this
fucking
kid like
hates this
fucking
kid.
poison, all right? I literally call him douchebag to his face. Anyways, the breakup with Call Her Daddy happens. Those two, Mooj and Sofia, they go together, and he's helping her produce her podcast.
show, yeah.
Turns out one of the girls, there's only two girls who had allegations against me. One of them's a legit porn star. I'll introduce you, Mike. One of her is like a legit porn star right now. Like that's what she does. She wasn't at the time. Started her OnlyFans the day after these allegations came out. She went on the No Jumper podcast and literally said she was fucking Mooj, and Mooj was who introduced her to Business Insider. It's like,
Dude,
is anyone listening to
I gotta
this?
say this. There's so much celebratory stuff. I'm feeling silly today. This topic is
It's real heavy.
Bro, this
It
is
is
heavy.
real heavy.
It's crazy.
You're a rich man now.
But
you shouldn't concern yourself with these.
Oh no,
these,
but that's
these
my
peddling
but
deals
that's my
of the
personality.
street life.
If you're,
I understand what he's saying. He's right. He's right.
if that's splashed about you, I mean, those are bad things. They're basically saying, and it's like, the people who don't like me don't look at the facts. That's what I have come to grips with. People who don't like me are never going to like me. People who like me are going to like me. And the scary side of it is, even if I was guilty of the shit they said I was guilty of, if I said I wasn't, the people who like me would still believe
Correct.
me. Like, everyone's opinions are kind of in stone at this point. I mean, I'm telling the truth. I always do. But it's like, I have my crowd who believes me, and I have the people who fucking hate me.
What an odd time. What an odd time to be.
I mean, this used to be like the witch hunt type shit. You just like, he did this and it was done. They would just burn
we
him.
are in a headline culture, and I think some platforms take more responsibility than others. Snapchat in particular is just
crazy.
brutal with their headlines. If you see these titles on Snapchat, some of the most appalling
Yeah,
thumbnails and titles. Yeah, I mean, people love it. And in a day and age where everyone's attention span is -1 second, I don't have time to fucking read the article, but I'll read the headline with the embarrassing picture.
Yeah, me too. I've had those plenty of times. The New York Times thing's weird because, like, I always grew up. My dad, like, I thought that was like a legit publication. I don't anymore because of what I went through. But yeah, everybody's got an agenda. Everyone's got something. I mean, I saw the thing with you, which was like, we actually talked it on BFFs. It's the only thing where I'm like, well, if he did that, he's a real piece of shit.
Yeah.
With your mini horse.
The pig. The
yeah.
pearl the
Mini
pig,
horse.
Yeah, the pig. I had a mini horse where it's like you just threw him away. It's
Right.
like, but that was the headlines before you came out and said what happened.
Very
Yeah.
disappointing.
Yeah.
Very disappointing. Yeah. And it always sucks to have to retroactively correct a narrative because
no one cares.
It is the truth.
Yeah,
no one
right.
gives a fuck.
The
No-
correction's never
no
as
one gives a
loud
shit.
as the original.
Yeah,
Right.
it's annoying and like, bro, I was heartbroken. I love this pig. This pig slept in my bed for like 2 years.
Right.
Not every day, obviously, but like on and off. I'd have this pig in my house. We'd feed it. This pig lived a fucking very luxurious lifestyle in my backyard.
Not
I
anymore.
rehomed
Not anymore,
it to a
man.
responsible home, and then without my knowledge, 2 years later, that person rehomed it to a person who apparently didn't look after the pig the way he was supposed to.
Bro, why are we starting with these topics?
We're
bro?
heavy.
Those
We're-
are always
it's all
my
heavy.
topics.
Just
I feel like.
Yeah, but I'm feeling silly, bro. Like,
Does
let's-
it does it
This
bother
guy said
you?
he got held hostage last night, got taken to live. He's like, I had
Yeah,
no
right.
choice. I had to go live.
right.
I went to Swan, and the next thing I knew, I was gunpoint at live.
Dude, I was supposed to go to a nice dinner, dude, and then that's exactly how it went down, bro.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I don't
I'm sure.
I don't know how you live in this city.
I don't go out.
That's true. Because you got the girlfriend.
Yeah, I got a girlfriend. I've gone out maybe one night. I really don't go out at all. Like last night I was in West Virginia. We had our rough and rowdy. I got in at like 3 or 4, but I've been out once since I've been in Miami. So I go back and forth, maybe twice. I don't go out much.
Can you trace your because I heard you talking on Theo's podcast about the olden days and talking about like, oh, I don't really love. Shout out to Theo Vaughn, by the way, right now. He is absolutely crushing it on YouTube. He's getting like 5-6 million views per podcast. But I saw you on a show talking about how you used to go out all the time. Did you stop going out the day you got wifed up?
No, well, she loves going out. So we still did it in the beginning of the relationship. But I mean, I'm getting old and I just, I start feeling old. Like when you look around, you're like, I'm the fucking old guy here. And that was starting to happen a lot. It's like, I don't know, I want to be here. I feel like the old guy, And in Miami is a club city.
I was going to ask because I've been out with you a couple times. We had one night in Cleveland.
Yeah.
One night in, was it Chicago?
Yeah, you came to our bar in Chicago. Yeah.
And you didn't seem like you're having a good time
No.
at either.
Yeah,
You
no,
kind of
well,
just like stand there with your bottle. You're one of those guys.
I'm never like the guy causing a scene up, even if I am having a good time. I'm also, that's just me. Like I'm more of a, if I go out, first of all, I run into a little problem. I got to make a life choice because if I go out in Miami, I got to do drugs or else I can't stay awake. Like I just can't stay awake. So then if you're doing drugs, you're up all night.
Yeah.
And then then I'm fucked up for a couple days.
What, like Addies and shit?
Ecstasy. Ecstasy is the drug of choice. to
But
go
you
out
can
here.
get it. I can get it done with. But I mean, nobody wants. Yeah. I know.
Hey.
Sorry, fuck. Can you just take prime energy?
That was unbelievable.
Well, they don't. Sorry, they don't have it.
Unbelievable.
They don't have
And
it
that's
at the
why you don't
clubs.
have equity, brother.
That's
why you don't have
fucking
equity.
Unbelievable.
They don't have it at the clubs yet. Why I'm working on the relationships. That's why I was at Live last night. That's why I went last night. I was
I'm
working on the
sure.
prime.
You just said the other. Yeah. Okay.
You're wild. The audacity.
They don't have it yet.
Did you know that you lose about 100 hairs every day? It's part of the natural cycle, but for some folks, the hair doesn't grow back. And that's why today's sponsor, Roman, is here to help. Mike, this could have helped you, dude.
Great sponsor.
With Roman, you get science-backed, FDA-approved treatments that are proven to help slow or stop hair loss, and in some cases, even regrow hair. More than 70% of men reported increased hair growth after 4 months of treatment. And with Roman, it's easy. It comes right to your door, and they have everything you need to fight back against balding, including oral prescriptions as well as over-the-counter topical treatments. And you can access everything right from your phone. The sooner you start your treatment, the easier it is for you to help keep your hair. So what are you waiting for? Get your first month of treatment free by visiting ro.co/Logan or by clicking the link in the description. That's ro.co/Logan to get your first month's treatment for free. Now back to the show.
You guys are killing. I don't know how you've done it with Prime. I know you guys are big. I was talking to my little cousin, and like Prime is like the hot drink. And when I say it's like middle school, but he didn't know who you were. And he didn't know who KSI was. But
I told this to my partners. I said, I believe this beverage has already outgrown us.
it was just like, and this isn't disrespectful to taste, positive, negative. It was just like, you had to have it. You were cool if you had it. And that's the best. By the way, that's what you want, obviously. You don't want it. Your best case is people drinking no idea who you are.
Fantastic.
Yeah, right.
That's why we didn't link it to us in any regard other than that we created it, and at first anyways, and I guess still are the faces of it, but not really. Like, it has outgrown us. Dave, it's all anyone wants to talk to me about. I'm not kidding. Like,
I get it.
People on the street, I'll be at my WWE events, and it's a great thing, but it's crazy how
I've been doing my research on it. You know who I'm good friends with? Mike Rapoli. You have to know who that is if you're in this space, because he started Vitamin Water and Body Armor. Billionaire, like twice over, sold it for billions.
Yeah.
So we were talking about, it's hard to do. Impressive.
It's the beverage category is a good one if you can break through, and you've started with High Noon a little bit, and even I just saw the tequila announcement. How's it going?
High Noon's killing it. High Noon, the tequila just came out the other day, so I think that'll be a monster, but they're really good. So what I've learned with doing like different stuff, if it's not good, it doesn't matter what people think. It really doesn't. The High Noon is an easy thing for me to push because people love them.
Is that considered like an influencer product? I mean, you're not an influencer, but in you have traits of an influencer.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to tell. My link with High Noon was, so they were out for a little bit. They started, I had nothing to do with it, and we had a pallet in my office. And at the time is when kind of the seltzers were hot, and people were approaching me all the time, like, hey, would you be involved, equity, whatever. And it never felt right. I saw the High Noon. I loved the marketing, tasted it, liked it. And then we reached out to them like, hey, Dave wants to be involved. Let's do a partnership. And then the thing just really exploded.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
And the tequila product's new, right?
Brand new. So we were working on that for like a year. That's hard to do because you got to get the tequila from Mexico.
I don't realize why or understand why like a tequila seltzer hasn't been like perfected and blown up yet, because no one drinks vodka anymore. Like,
I'm a vodka guy.
You still are.
Yeah,
you still are, because vodka market share has to be down dramatically in the United States.
Yeah,
like,
I feel like when you're in the clubs, most people are doing the tequilas. I don't. I think the High Noons are going to be explosive. We'll see. They're great, and I'm not a tequila guy, but they're great.
Who competes in the tequila seltzer? Like
Mamitas.
That's Brody Jenner's.
Yeah.
And then Travis obviously had.
They're done.
Done, right?
Yeah. I think he's one of those guys as an influencer. He wasn't really so keen on the influencing part,
the active promoting of the product.
You see what Logan does with Prime, and even what I did. Like, you have to really. My impression was he didn't give a fuck on that.
Well, he also didn't it kind of launch around the same time where he got like Uber, like actual canceled because of Astro World and shit. So it was like kind of timed terribly.
Also,
I always go ahead.
Prime just suits Logan so well with his lifestyle.
Yeah.
So it looks
that's true,
organic
too.
with his boxing, with his the soccer thing, like everything. It looked organic and it felt right. I think it would be weird to consistently just be holding a box.
I always wonder too the difference, and there's examples of like influencers who people care about because they're so big that their audience doesn't actually like feel like they know them or are attached to them.
Yeah.
And it's like you may have this huge crowd, but are they as attached to you and like actually believe what you say?
It's also kind of like symbolic of YouTube creators versus like mainstream creators as well. Like, there's just something about YouTube and the audience that you curate there that they love you. You know, they feel like they're a part of your life. They feel like they share in your ups and downs. They feel like they know really who you are as a person. And it's like there's a certain level of like detachment that exists between
also,
real mainstream celebrities.
a lot like longevity. Like sitting on the couch. I mean, we've been doing this for a long ass time. So you're building. It's like a story that people are investing in as opposed to something else. So yeah, I don't know. It's always interesting to see how people are monetizing, everything right now.
So now that, I mean, what is your role in Barstool now?
Same. Like nothing's changed. So I
Employee.
run content. I mean, I'm definitely have taken a little bit of a step back. I'm not in the office. I live here. I'm the only one who does that. But I still, still run content.
Well, I also have to ask.
I did a 5-year contract basically when
I
Penn
see.
bought
Do you
it
get paid
the
a
first
salary
time.
now?
Yes.
You get paid a salary. Is it
Yep.
nice?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like
Jamie,
living.
like Jamie
I
Dimon.
mean, I guess it doesn't matter.
like Jamie Dimon,
Who the fuck's Jamie
the
Dimon?
CEO of fucking, what bank is it? JP Morgan, I think.
probably know
Bro, he was
then.
getting like $50 million a
No,
year salary.
no.
or something like that.
I get nothing like that.
But you made a lot of money on the sale.
Yeah. It's probably the same. I made probably like about $100 million on the sale. Me.
But you already had made a $100
No,
million before.
total.
Of all of it. So
Yeah,
from the
yeah.
first 100
yeah,
and the
maybe
380.
a little more. Stock matters, but that's like basically where it was.
And Erica too, obviously made money.
All our early Milton guys will be like millionaires.
KFC?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah.
saw a tweet from him and he was like, dude, I've been waiting for this day.
So when we did the deal with Churnin, so we've sold twice. The first time, like I took my equity and I gave away about 15% of it to like my early guys. So they all had equity. And
yeah, you got to give equity to those guys that are with
they
you.
all
from
they
the
all
start.
did really
You
well.
have to,
Yep.
bro.
Okay, but the question is,
You have to.
and the rumblings I've been hearing is, shut up. I've not had a sale yet. Nothing's happened. I haven't made any money.
I'm kidding.
What do you want
I
from
just
me?
thought it was funny. I'm
All you
sorry.
do is plug my
Sorry.
competitors. You're an asshole.
Because you're not there yet.
This is a B.
Oh, no, multiple.
It's
Multiple.
I'm just saying, not an M. It's a B.
No.
The question I was going to say is, and the rumblings are that Barstool sold under value.
Somebody told me that last night.
Yeah, I don't really buy that. A time I would have said that, but not anymore. A lot of people fucking talk. And I've heard this through ever. It's like, you didn't do this, you could have made this. It's like, dude, I'm here. Like, I'm fielding offers. I know what's coming in. We met with fucking DraftKings before we met with Penn. They didn't offer $100 million. So it's like, it's great. Who has the check? If you have the check, like where's that
That's true.
check
Yeah,
at?
money talks.
And when we sold, the gambling industry was fucking flying. And then it's like, holy shit, we probably worth billions, but it's all come back down to earth. It's a super competitive industry right now. So no, right now I don't think so. I didn't negotiate the deal. The Chernin guys did. They're fucking savages and they're pros. They do it for a living. Peter Chernan's a savage. So no, I don't buy that. I've heard that throughout Barstool. If you did this, you'd be making that. It's like, all right, well, like where? That's easy to say, but where? Like, all right, I'll take it.
What are the biggest like? Something on my. I need some prime. I need some prime right now, dude. Can I have one of those?
That's good. There you go.
Man, I'm feeling parched, dude. What are the main factors in like timing a sale? So like obviously you're fielding offers, you're looking at stock valuation because Penn has ownership, but like how much of it is based on like the ebb and flow of content? Like that's the thing. Like, it's like I'm talking to somebody last night and they're like, bro, if he had stayed with it like another 2 years, it could have been a B, like all this shit. And I'm like, bro,
but who is that guy?
No, but that's what I'm getting at. It's like you're not living in the fucking trenches.
And really,
bro.
when you start looking at it, it's like, all right, if you're going to spend that much money, and then we're a content business, so what? 4 or 5 of our top guys leave because they just got a shit ton of money. Then what'd you just buy for that? So there's all different elements. I think Barstool's done a very good job of making it. I've said I think we have just about media, if you include current and past, just about the most successful, like across the spectrum. Some people don't even realize how broad we are. Like we have the #1 urban podcast, like $1 million worth of game. They're fucking huge. Yeah. Obviously Cooper, McAfee came from us. Big Cat's huge. Jenna Marbles. We've just had a lot of talent. But you never know. What caused it was the change in the gambling legislation. When they passed the different laws that made it legal, that was our moment. But you never know. It's not the media business, because the media business, for us, it's still kind of, we're a renegade, risque. So who out there right now is buying media businesses? Nobody. Yeah. Really. Or if they are, they're pennies on the dollar. They're like ones that used to be worth a lot, whether it's a I don't know, Huffington Post or the one that does all the fucking clickbait. They're all in the toilet. But yeah, BuzzFeed. There's not media business. You know
Remember
what
what happened to
big
BuzzFeed?
You know
What
why?
happened to
Oh my
BuzzFeed?
God.
Because the world has changed so much that most influencers, like the hardest thing for us is like, why do you stay with us? We say we'll put gasoline on you. If you're a great influencer, a great personality, you spend 2 years with us and then your worth is going to be like 10, 20, 100x what it would have been not with us helping you. But a lot of people can go make money on their own and do things like that. So you're not, when we started, for the most part, people didn't have an option. You were looking, you needed that platform to go.
Right.
Now, people are
Everything's-
exploding overnight.
Yeah, but sort of. I even just like, I'm not going to say the numbers, but Prime was asking about potentially sponsoring Caleb Pressley's show.
Yeah. We had a back and forth with Prime. I told you about that. It was weird.
Yeah, for a little bit. And we got the numbers that he was getting for his show, and they're just unbelievable. Like for an ad read.
You're talking for a Sunday conversation.
For Sunday Conversation for the sponsors of his show, he is collecting a lot of money.
Well, what he proposed. We had a long conversation about this 3 nights ago, and if the number that was thrown out there for a Prime sponsorship is accurate, he's 10x CPM versus anything I've ever heard in the creator space.
Yeah.
So
And is it because it's run through the Barstool network? Like he gets legitimacy and verification, credibility.
Well,
because
it's not
Barstool.
only that. So you're going to be on his show, but then it's going everywhere across Barstool. So you're not just getting Caleb on Sunday Conversation, but it's going to be on my feed. It's going to be on Part of My Take, which is it goes everywhere.
Right.
Like depending on the price, but you car wash it. We basically car washed the
That's
whole
what
system.
I said. It was like based on syndication
Yeah.
across.
So you're
the-
not necessarily getting just that. You're getting like fucking anything.
It still just seems high. But regardless, what I'm saying is there's still a lot of value in being run through the Barstool machine right now. And you'd be
100%.
silly not to acknowledge that. As
no,
a creator.
100%.
I see you making, like, when you talk from the first time till now, every time you talk, I feel like you have like 10 moves already planned ahead. Now that you just sold your company and you're kind of diversing yourself, like what's your next 10 to 5 years?
I don't really know. I never think that's nice that you said that, but I don't know that it's true because everything changes so fast. I also could take a little break. It's like 2 years. Be doing it for 20. That'll be like 2 decades of me doing it. So I don't really know.
It's unwinding time now.
And if something strikes me, I like gambling, so I like what I'm doing. I like horse racing. I actually love the small business stuff. Like, love it. So, maybe a more in-depth kind of visiting with like old school companies that have been around, like a Netflix version of something like that is something I'd probably enjoy doing. But I also like sitting on my ass. So
In the Hamptons, dude, like when you told me that, I couldn't believe you've been spending so much time in the Hamptons.
yeah,
Like,
6 and 6.
Do you feel like a trader?
No.
You are supposed to be in Nantucket.
Correct.
You're
So
a
I gave
Boston
my
boy.
ex.
It's just
my
I feel like
ex-wife-
people are mad.
My
dude.
ex-wife has the Nantucket house. We're still best friends. Happy she has it.
yeah.
I've looked. I have very specific requirements for Nantucket. This will be very specific to Nantucket people. I need privacy because our bros will be everywhere, and I want to see the ferry come in
So
and out.
Brant Point. Brant Point.
And those houses never go on the market
Crazy.
because I feel when I see people leaving Nantucket,
Yeah.
it makes me feel good. It's like, oh, I'm still here and they're leaving. So yeah, but it's super hard. It's so small, so small.
So what are you gonna? I mean, you gotta go. Are you gonna go stay at the White Elephant? Did you get a hotel room? I mean, you
I haven't
gotta
been
be
back
there.
a couple years.
I miss
also
seeing you float around in the pool on the floaty.
Also, World War III happened in Nantucket. I became one of the 2 girls
yeah,
is
that's
from
right.
Nantucket. I was on the cover of N magazine. Somebody made a big stink, and the whole island went to war.
So you can't even go to the box.
Anywhere I go, no, I love the box. I have my people, and then I have people who don't like me, which is kind of everywhere. But yeah, there's a girl.
We're silly today, Dave. You don't got to get into it.
How often are people shit talking you in person?
Never.
No,
I
never.
saw one video of a girl calling you ugly.
Oh, that one, yeah, that is.
I saw that.
Yeah, but that is like my dream. Like when that's going, it's like, oh, we got content. I was doing a pizza review. She waited for me to leave, and then she just went in. She knew more about me than me. Every controversy, one after another. She's like, "You're fucking ugly," and then my
Well, she,
girlfriend
like,
was
threw
like,
that-
"You're fucking ugly."
Did you
Threw
make
it in at the
merchandise
end.
with her face on it?
Yeah.
You
Oh,
made
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
some real Jake Paul shit. You made merchandise with this girl's face on it. What'd it say? What'd it say? Like, you're ugly? I'll be honest with you.
Listen, back in the day, like way back, like a girl that I was dating, first after like my ex, She cheated on me with her Soul Cycle instructor. We were selling.
Oh, that's a famous story.
We were selling Cuck Cycle t-shirts, just like.
And they got cease and desisted, right?
Yeah, the Soul Cycle called.
Yeah.
They literally had 911 on like speed dial because they thought we shut down their social media because every single time they post it's like, do you get to fuck your like instructor with it?
They called 911.
Yeah, because it was a big fucking story. I am the type of guy like, all right, if you fuck me over, to get you back, I will burn the whole ship down. Like if I drown with it, like all right, that is.
Oh my God, Karen's one bite, you're ugly.
Till this day, I offered you a pepperoni pizza and it still haunts me. Till this day.
Yeah, I don't do the pepperoni.
No, I know. I clearly know now. I stopped eating pepperoni pizza. Clearly, I
don't hate it. I don't do it for the reviews.
I knew it was a mistake.
Yeah.
And you know what? When people give me shit for not liking pepperoni, fuck you. It's just not the baseline pizza. Everyone knows it's cheese,
right.
and I always point to Dave actually because he does it right. He does cheese pizza.
She ripped into me. I had my back to her. She went off. She was behind a fence. It's like what is that cartoon where the guy's Hank Hill? He's always over the fence.
Yeah.
She ripped into me. But that's great. Like I love for content. My
Monetize
content
it.
brain is like, all right, this will be great. The second it was over, it's like I'm glad we got that.
Are you still rocking the same cadence of pizza reviews?
Every day.
Just can you reiterate one time? Because I swear I still have this conversation.
New Haven.
Thank you.
Yeah, New Haven's the best. There's no doubt. I actually
brought him and did the whole.
Did you?
Wore
Had
at Sally's, Modern, and Pepe.
It's the best.
Does it bother you that Mike goes around tasting things now?
Oh yeah, I want to ask you this too. I wanted to handle the pizza first, but I want to.
He just stole your identity and made it.
Everyone needs to. I actually judged a burger contest here for the South
First.
Beach.
Yeah.
Yes,
I think they asked me to
burgers.
come down and do that too.
Yeah, sure.
So
did.
So I started it, and a lot of the comments right off the bat were, "Bro, you can't do this." Like Dave Portnoy rates pizza. I go, "Bro, you think he's the first person to rate a fucking food?"
Yeah, I definitely don't own food. I definitely don't own food. People say that. I mean, I guess it's flattering, but food space is.
You definitely are. I'll say this. You definitely are like the face of food ratings. So I got the comparison, but it was like. It just didn't seem like there can only be one person doing it.
People have done food forever. I mean, I definitely have pizza on lock, but it's people say that all the time. Food God's gotten that, and Food God's been doing food forever.
How did you feel about your Rogan appearance?
Oh, that was sick.
I didn't know. So we talked a ton of UFC. And I'm not a huge UFC guy, but other than that, I thought it's good. I mean, people always said I go on Rogan. I think there's a lot of people.
Yeah, how did that work? Did he reach out to you?
Yeah, so I would never ask really to go on anything, but it was the New York Times shit. It was this most recent hit piece that they spent a year researching, and then they published it. And we did something that's a little unusual for the Times. We just didn't respond. And when I say we didn't respond, they wrote the whole fucking article in 48 hours, 24 hours, they had a laundry list of things to answer all these allegations. The story was already written. It's like, and I said, no, we're not going to do it. And in the article, they said, we asked Barstool or Dave for comment. He wouldn't do it. I had all my exchange. I knew this woman was writing the article. And for 8 months, I was like, hey, I'll answer anything you want. I'll sit down as long as I can record it myself whenever you want to do it. Yeah. She kept saying, I'm eager to do it over and over. I'd write back, hey, if you're so eager, why aren't we doing it? I published all that, and Rogan saw it, and he's like, I love what you did with the Times. Do you want to come on? But we never even talked about it. I also did something. I have a video in the holster, which maybe when I'm done with Barstool, I'll post, but I did a legit stakeout of a New York Times reporter. I went with a guy I work with. We just sat 48 hours style, eating junk food in the car.
Van or no? No. Did you have a van?
We had.
You had to be in a van.
You got to get a van for that, dude.
And I think we had a rental car at the time.
A rental van.
And we just sat there and waited for the reporter come out, and then when she came out, we sprinted up, and it's a 10-minute confrontation. This woman bailed from the article. After that happened, she took her name off.
So
and
you're
did nothing
saying,
to her.
getting run up on by two men who staked out her office, scared her away from.
I did the same fucking shit. It's like, I know you're snooping around every fucking skeleton I have. I'm right here. You have questions. And she did ask something. She's like, well, these girls say that you like filmed without consent. It's like, I have the video of her giving me head right now. You can watch it because she's looking at the camera. She's talking to me. And do you want to see if it's without consent? She's like, well, maybe later. So it's like, it was like a 10-minute. And thank God her husband was, I'm not a tall guy. Her husband was 5'1" max. So I was kind of like over him a little bit. But yeah, that's what Rogan reached out. But then we kind of, I mean, it's so long, Rogan.
It's so long.
Yeah.
It's like a 3-4 hour show.
And
I don't have the energy to do that.
And
you still never got to that subject.
No, well, the producer, Jamie, he's like, he may talk all Barstool, he may talk no Barstool, you never know. But it was good. We got
one thing you did.
Big thing was his brother's fight.
I was about to say the Tommy. You predicted kind of wrong on that one.
Kind of wrong. I didn't think Tommy Fury
would come like that.
I didn't even think he was trying to win. I thought we worked for Showtime at Jake's fight in Cleveland, the first one versus Woodley. And Tommy Fury fought that night versus a guy who was collecting like ticket stubs. It was a guy they pulled out of the crowd.
Dave, I saw the same fight. I was there ringside. And I had the same thought you had. I said, this guy's not impressive.
He's not. He couldn't do anything.
I sparred the guy that he fought that night. He couldn't take out in 4 rounds. I dropped him in the second round in sparring. 16-ounce gloves, headgear after a month of fucking hangover. So, like, I thought the same thing you thought. I was like, Tommy can't do this.
It was all based on, and Dan, who works with me, we watched it, and we're like, this guy is terrible. And I thought I know Jake takes it seriously. And I didn't know, I think, a little more clarity. I didn't know what Jake was, but he beat the UFC guys. I just didn't think I thought they built this up. Tommy Fury gets a payday, then goes his way. So yeah, I was adamant he couldn't fight. I was stunned.
Do you guys think he pulled out because he was just the whole time he
Now
knew what
I'm
he was
lost.
doing it?
I don't
and
know
he was
why
just
he
in
pulled
camp? Because, bro, you watch him, he was so fast. And he had such a good combination.
Right,
See, I don't know if I agree with
Okay,
that.
calm down.
Calm down.
Oh, he wants to avenge his brother.
No,
Yeah, I
hold
heard
on.
that. But that's the Paul marketing machine.
I mean, but regardless, there's only 2 people on this planet that Tommy Fury impressed with his boxing.
I disagree with
I
that.
disagree with that.
Himself and Dave Portnoy.
No,
But
you have to be impressed.
I thought you were serious.
Yeah,
I thought you
no,
were
he did
serious.
impress me because the standard was low. Now, I said, and I sent Jake a text after, like, aside from the boxing, I think the fact that many people, including like myself, were interested in that fight is one of the great marketing business things like we'll ever see.
We just talked about this with Jake 3 days ago. We talked about what a Jake Paul KSI fight really equals out to in terms of PPV. And Jake had the same exact sentiment that you do, which is that people wanted to watch Jake fight an actual sanctioned fighter or boxer, and that there was mainstream pickup on this fight, you being mainstream, right? Because he was fighting an actual boxer. And it's interesting because I think the Jake Paul KSI fight does tremendous numbers because there's so much. You know what I'm saying? But I do also understand because like ESPN was all over this one.
And
everybody
they may
was
be
all
on
over
that,
this one.
but I don't know that you're like I skew on the boxing side of things. Like I actually want to see great fights, not so much on the personality celebrity. So
But wait, hold on. You do Rough and Rowdy. It's all about the personality of celebrity. Who cares about how good the boxers are? Like literally, who cares? Right now, I think we're living in a time where we want to see the people with the biggest ego get fucking dropped.
totally. No,
so
but
true.
Rough and Rowdy is totally like nobody's really buying that for like a specific person. They're buying that for like weird,
It's
crazy.
entertaining. They're characters.
Yeah, but that fight wasn't really entertaining.
One thing I will say is they did work the whole time, which like they didn't dance.
No,
they could have
but
danced.
they were
you know,
swinging. They were
But if
swinging
you
the
think
whole
of any
time.
fight where like that's a really good fight,
Right.
generally there's like swings and ebbs and like, oh, that guy's
Somebody
in
went
trouble.
down, somebody got back up,
there
release
wasn't-
type shit,
that fight, I after 30 seconds, I was like, I'm wrong. This is going to be pretty close, and it was kind of was what it was. Again, it's just that's me. Like the thing I really what Jake brought for me was I didn't know. Like, I consider myself sort of a boxing fan, and it's clearly had like power. These knockouts are spectacular. It's like, is he? Is he actually somebody who could start like competing versus real boxers and move up the? Like, I don't think that's the case, because I don't think Tommy Fury is like great. There's still a market for it.
I have two questions that are very important that I need to make sure I ask.
And you guys love each other, right? The Furies and the Pauls.
I'll be honest. I love Tyson Fury. I think John Fury is incredibly entertaining. Right now, yeah, I mean, congrats to Tommy, right? But he didn't impress me. He beat my brother when my brother was 70%. So I can't say I love Tommy at the moment. But Tyson and John, I think, are
But
are
it's like
great.
a Fury. There's two families that are very like marketing savvy, and it's like this whole event's good for
Do you
everybody.
know John
involved.
Fury?
I don't know them all.
Okay.
I mean, I did pizza review with
so
Tyson.
He's the dad. He's the father
Yeah.
who you may see just like trolling about in
Yeah.
the background. Or something.
Yeah,
He's
I
funny.
know.
He's
I
funny,
know who he is.
He
The whole
is-
family's
he's
fine.
excellent. He's a master troll. He's,
Yeah.
he's the best they got, I think. I mean, the Furies learned it all from him, and you see him real time, like just playing the game.
Yeah,
just like the rest
well,
of us.
right.
I don't
That's
think he's
what
playing the
watching-
game, dude.
Yes,
No,
he
he
is.
is,
I can tell
definitely.
you. I can tell you.
I
when
think
we were-
he's in it,
when
dude.
we were at the press conference. When we were at, or no, sorry, the weigh-in. Jake weighed in, and they were having their face-to-face, and John Fury comes right up to me, and he sticks his hands up. He's in my face. He's saying something. He's like, Furies, Furies, and he's smiling and going crazy, and then he shakes my hand and winks at me.
I got that vibe the whole time.
He knows exactly what
Yeah.
he's doing.
So my two questions is this: did Rogan ever hit you up and be like, "Yo, you were wrong about"?
So we talked about, because we were going to do a live watch party for it, which thank God we didn't do, but I was all over it. And he just like, because I owned it. I was like, I'm so
I was gonna
fucking
say
wrong.
when you realize that you're wrong and your audience is such a sports centric audience, like does your skin start to turn inside out? Is that hurt you? Is it embarrassing?
I mean, I just believe it all. I don't know if it's embarrassing. I was just fucking dead ass wrong. I don't. that's
But
all.
also, I know what you do with it. You immediately turn it into content.
Yeah, and
you being wrong
right.
is a lob for you.
Yeah,
where you can then spike home a funny storyline about why you were wrong.
And I try to take credit. Like, we need more people who take accountability when
For
they're
sure.
wrong. Like, I dislocated my shoulder, put my hand up. I do have a question. Even you with, like, I've never seen during that fight, you went WWE when you're like, fuck the Furies. I've never seen that in like a real fight.
Dude, I got a lot of heat from that. People,
Well, I don't.
some people seem to be upset that I cut a promo mid fight.
Correct.
And
Yeah, I could see
I
that.
I didn't think twice about
Yeah,
it.
I
I
could
was
see
just like,
that.
I'm just gonna continue the show and talk a little shit during the fight.
It
and
was
try-
WWE into boxing.
I've mistakenly and somehow blindly not realized that the worlds are intertwined now.
that was a big time.
I didn't think twice about it. And what I was trying to do was, because I was on the mic and you could hear it in the arena, and I knew Tommy was sitting in his corner and Jake was losing. And
Yeah.
so I tried to talk shit and get in Tommy's head so he could hear it during the fight over the loudspeakers. The issue is, it just pissed him off because the third round started. He just fucking unleashed a gnarly
So you're the
combo.
reason why.
No, literally on Jake. And I was like, I fucking just made him mad now.
So just on record now, Logan versus Tommy, who wins?
I would say Tommy. When's the last time Logan fought?
yeah. I mean, why
You're-
would he say otherwise? I'm fucking 0-1.
And I mean, you found your calling with the wrestling. I mean,
Yeah, I
you're
guess so.
natural.
No,
for
but he's
that.
coming back to boxing.
For KSI. I
have a fight this year.
For who? Oh yeah, I was going to announce. I was going to announce it, and then something happened. It didn't happen.
No,
I got
new one.
injured. I got injured.
Yeah.
I tore my MCL.
Yeah, right,
We were
right,
gonna do
right.
that one. I got a new opponent.
Who? Not said yet.
Not said. I'll tell you.
Say it and bleep
We'll
it.
bleep it.
No shit.
Cool, right?
You guys, I don't know what the fuck.
I don't know what's going on. Either. You're
Dude,
in
there's
love?
just so
I mean,
the
you're in
problem
love.
is there's just so much.
You're
dude.
madly in love.
Yeah, yeah.
2 years. Coming on 2 years.
That's great.
Congratulations.
So are you, aren't you?
I am. You know, it's something I never saw coming. For you, either definitely not for me, but for you, I don't know. You didn't strike me as a settled down kind of guy.
No, I'm always. If it's right, it's right. So it's been good.
How do you prevent this one from cheating on you?
Bro, you can't look at your phone, swiping out of your apps, and ask such a dark question like that.
Yeah, I knew the first one was going to cheat.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, yeah.
How did you know?
I just knew. I had it. It's like I sensed it. Not with this.
But
I knew
also,
it.
you didn't have an exit at that point.
What do
Now,
you mean?
well, I mean, you're sold for, you know.
Yeah,
you're
that has
100
nothing to do with it. Yeah, that.
Well,
wouldn't
you don't
matter.
cheat on somebody.
Although
with
there, I
100
do
million.
have a good line.
cheat on somebody with
I
100
do
million.
have. You definitely do. Like you don't think
just kidding, I'm
Bezos'
kidding.
wife is getting like. But yeah, no, I knew it. I knew it with the first. So it's.
I think
was
everybody
right.
deep down knows when they're with somebody who's
I
cheating.
was talking out loud like I knew there was an issue. So whatever.
Were you already drawing up the merch ahead of time?
No. Once it happened, it came pretty organic.
How did you find out, if you don't mind me asking?
She was the worst.
She just told you?
No.
Oh, yeah, how was it
It's
again?
her timing. It's like, hey, I'll be home in 10 minutes. Just home in an hour. Like Uber. It was pretty easy. Like I said, I knew it.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
No, I don't give a fuck.
Do you want to have like little bar stools?
That's a
Where you get,
wild.
like,
That's a
walk
wild
around?
thought.
You're on the phone. I don't know.
No, do you want to have kids?
I knew that's what you were asking.
Oh, then you just said someone was on the phone. I don't.
No, when he asked the phone, do I want? I don't know. I don't know. Like right now, no. Could it change? Maybe. Do I wake up be like I need kids? No.
Why?
I don't know. Why do some people? I feel like I just don't.
Are you actively taking preventative measures to make kids not appear in
Like-
the person that you're
Yes.
having sex? Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're not just haphazardly like, kids, we have kids. No,
So you're actively preventing
I don't
children.
want kids.
Anti,
Currently.
yeah.
I don't know if anti-kid, but no, I don't want kids. It's like, and that's like a question. Why does somebody want kids? Why don't I don't know. I just don't. Like I like my life right now.
You have dating advice?
No, what is dating? No,
You don't go on dates? You don't go on like cute dates with your girl?
Oh, just in general?
Yeah.
No, we're fucking boring as fuck. I like my ideal thing is just like good dinner, and that's pretty much it.
How much has that allowed you to like focus on the business? Like having that at home and that stability.
Yeah, but I'm past the core. The first 10 years of doing Barstool, I worked every single day.
Yeah.
Like I didn't take a day off. That's all I did. Now I get to enjoy my life a little bit. I get to do things that I want to do. So it's good. Like
You
I
earned it.
travel a lot.
You earned it.
Yeah.
And you get to do that other podcast, BFF's podcast. with-
Still going. Yeah, it's
How you-
crazy.
How you feeling about that? Are you loving it?
Yeah, it's some of the drama. Do I love being like talking about I because I'm so blunt, and then I'll say something, and at times I do feel bad. It's like I'm a much older guy. I'm talking about maybe like a 19-year-old, but it's still good, and it's been great for Barstool. And that whole wave, like I don't. We've talked about it before, where you put like the TikTokers and their influence, and like Josh is so real. Like
Yeah, for sure.
colleges and people all about it. So that it's good for me to be in that space. Like there's so many different spaces. Like I don't like where do you both of you guys like where do you actually consider yourself? Like what? In what
I mean,
world?
he's a fucking. I don't even. He's impossible. I'm pretty much YouTube centric. I mean, the book obviously was outside of that zone, and I do some other stuff. But I mean, he's a freaking. He's all over the place. Boxer, wrestler.
You don't have to consider yourself one thing.
Yeah, I
You're
guess
just
that's the-
multi-hyphenate,
But, like,
especially now.
So would you like the TikTok crowd? Would you like? Are you comfortable with like your I guess awareness level with all those people?
No,
The TikTok
he's-
crowd, like, what do you mean?
Like the TikTok crowd, like
he's
younger
tapped. You're pretty tapped out on that.
Wait,
stuff.
hold on. The audience or the creators?
Creators.
creators and audience. Both.
Creators 0%.
But audience,
I have no idea what's going on. The audience, I make TikToks. I'm
Yeah.
a content creator. Like I'm a dirty little social
Yeah,
media
yeah,
slut. dude.
yeah.
Like,
I
I'm
try
filming
to-
shit, posting it all the time on all my platforms. Like I like it. I started on Vine, dude.
Yeah, I know.
I'm going to Lele Pond's wedding today. My Vine buddy.
Oh, is that why you guys are here?
Yeah, that's why we're here. Yep.
I try to-
We're having it on the podcast tomorrow as well. But like it's short form media was my thing. I like get to do it on TikTok. It's fun. I do like TikTok a lot.
I try to keep him like briefed on what's going on in the space because like he's kind of elevated out of it. Not to make it sound like that. But
No, not that.
I don't mean. I don't mean.
just
I
not
don't mean
super
it like that. But
interested in like.
Like, here's a
Yeah,
question
but it's
for
a-
you.
Yeah,
Here-
go ahead.
if you could be like, hey, and it's just anybody in the world, and it all made sense to join you with Prime, to be like, oh, this person can kick start Prime again. Like, who would you pick?
Of course, we've thought about it, and we are and will be signing athletes. That'll be the next phase of Prime. The best ones in the world with the most reach, exposure, and potential that we can possibly get.
Yeah.
because I think especially after the UFC deal, we just kind of, I feel like, leveled up, and we want to stay on that level and even shoot higher.
That's another thing with you guys, which it's, you can't tell how much of it with the Pauls, because the Jake, Dana, like, have gone back and forth like crazy people, and then the next day you'll be sitting there with Dana with Prime.
I know we had Jake on the podcast for whatever fucking reason. We happened to just be doing the same thing, but with different companies, each other's partners, enemies. Like it's tough. But I made a
because that's one that from the outside I say is like they really don't like each other.
Oh, they definitely do not like each other.
Who?
Dana and Jake.
That's not true.
See that?
Really?
What?
No, KSI and Jake don't like each other.
That one I would have said is fraudulent.
No, that
Was
real.
How do you say the Jake and KSI one is very real, but how do you say the things that Jake has said? And I'm not saying good or bad bias at all. How do you say the things that Jake has said about Dana White?
What has he said about Dana?
Well, he attacks his business pretty hard.
Cheating, prostitute, fucking.
I mean, again, you're just playing a game, and if Jake, and here's my theory: if Jake is able to identify a target to further his agenda of fighter pay, that's the way to do it. Like if you can identify a common enemy, unite everyone against that person.
No,
but
the way you're describing it,
he's not going to do it. Nothing's going to happen.
I know, but it's just okay. Let me give you an example. I have a gun. I'm on my way to kill you. That's still not nice. You know what I mean? Like just because you didn't kill and turn down the company doesn't mean the attempt is not.
No.
I definitely agree. Going to kill someone with a gun is not nice.
Yeah, I think
that's bad for that
good.
person.
That's bad.
I just think attempting something and getting it done is the same.
Listen, if Jake was coming at Barstool the way he did, like UFC, like Dave doesn't pay you guys enough, you need more money, I'd be like, fuck this guy.
It would be war.
Yeah, I would not.
Yeah, but okay.
That's Dana's livelihood.
But for how long until nothing actually changes and you realize this person has no effect on your business, and then you're like, okay, he's doing his thing.
Yeah, I guess it would be how long.
It's been 2 years.
On.
Nothing's changed.
Yeah.
And it may in the future, but as of now, nothing's changed. Dana's doing his work. Jake's doing his work. And I love the UFC. I made a vow that I'm not gonna I guess alter how I feel about the people in my life or people that I look up to or would aspire to do business with one day, just because my brother has created beef with A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. Like,
right.
At
the end of the day, it comes down to how you feel. I mean, Dave, I'm going to be blunt with you. You're still a polarizing figure to this day. And I mean, the
way you preface that,
sorry,
I thought we were going to have something like dramatic.
No.
But
I haven't said the part yet. Sorry, but we'll get feedback from internal. Be like, don't do that show. You know what I'm saying?
Who the fuck's internal telling you not to do that show? First of all,
we got 100-person team, Dave. It could
you
be
guys have 100-people team?
No.
All right, well, 6. But listen,
so is somebody in this fucking room? Who the fuck in this room is saying?
Who in this room didn't want Dave on the podcast? Raise your hand on 3.
You have fucking.
It was him.
Is somebody on the fucking Paul team being like he's bad PR? Get the fuck out of here.
I looked at him and I go, he's not nice to me.
Yeah.
He just didn't like his cheese pizza.
Yeah.
He slapped the pizza out of my hand and he called me corny.
That is shocking.
Dude, why haven't I been on Pizza Show?
Because you're not good enough.
No, I probably asked. Yeah, we've asked you to do stuff. You're never around. I don't do celebrities really anymore for pizza generally because I don't like, you're going to be, Dave, you're crazy. Like, I think The Rock was offered, but it's like so far in advance that I'm not going to commit to coming in to do something.
I see.
Do you feel like having celebs there with you or other people who aren't like pizza centric throws off the sanctity of the review a little bit?
It can, but it really it doesn't if the person knows what they're doing. It's like a fan. But then you have other stuff. Like I did that.
What about Stone Cold? Just 7. It was like kind of embarrassing.
Stone Cold.
Was it
Stone Cold Steve Austin?
I don't know what but I did the Smash thing, so it works. You can get theatrics. Like I did a review with the cast of. It was some movie. It was like Ed Helms, the guy who just got in the accident, Jeremy Renner.
Oh my God, dude.
It was, what's that? Tag. And it wasn't a great review because they didn't know who we were. They all actually, believe it or not, John Hamm was there. They did like makeup before pizza review. It's
it's got to be like a vibe.
Cool.
I remember
that's
when you.
Cool.
But a girl walked by in the streets and she saw all these people, saw me. She's like, you're the pizza guy. Ignored all the others and went crazy viral because of that. It's like all these A-list celebs. So just having chaos in the streets helps the pizza reviews.
So I have a favorite burger review that I've done.
Yeah.
Me, Sugar Sean, Andy Milanakis in a Gucci sweater, and Jeff and my buddy Jeff Wittick. What's your like favorite pizza review they've? And I know the most viral certainly was the legless. So the armless homeless man.
There's that guy
in Miami who's still around stabbing people with his toes. Right?
You could go see him today if you want.
How's
he carrying that? There's the one that probably the most popular is actually Joe and Pat's, where there's like 5 things happen once. There's a guy who looks, his face is bleeding. There's a guy who says he fought World War II for me. There's 2 gay guys who are like, the service is horrible. My favorite, though, is probably Al Santillo. Santillo's New Jersey. It's this old school pizza maker. He won't let anyone else work his ovens. He's like, give me the guinea shit. That's what he tells me to say. I like the people. Like, the others are funny, but I like actually like the guy has his oven that he treats like his kid. So
that's actually a good segue, because you talked about it a little bit earlier. We had you on pre-COVID, pre-small business assistance. Now that you've moved the company, the remainder of it, and started climbing that second mountain, which we call service work, do you see that being...
Is that your line, or is that like a real thing?
It's a book. It's a book.
Yeah.
Second mountain called the service work.
Well, no, not called the service work. That generally is the second mountain of like
your life?
Of a successful business person, entrepreneur, someone that has succeeded in one place, now wants to go and say, yo, how can I make an impact on this planet? How can I help people?
Yeah.
Do you think that you've found your calling in helping people with those businesses? Because that was one thing I saw from you that I could tell was real, like, very real, that you like.
Yeah, so it's never planned like that. COVID, who would have saw that coming? But there was a need. Like, there was just a need to help small businesses. I identified with it because of the Barstool story. So it was something I was happy to do. It resonated with people. We were able to raise so much money so quickly. So I really, truly enjoyed doing it. But, in a small business, it's still something that I want to, that speaks to me. But yeah, it's casual. Like, we've done charity and different things throughout the 20 years of Barstool, but something happens and we react to it. That's generally how it goes.
Yeah, like reactive. The one thing that I missed that I think you dropped the ball on massive, and I want to call you out on it, like, dude, are you fucking serious?
Oh, it's just mad inappropriate.
This is important.
Poor timing. It's just poor timing for that dog.
The unboxings, dude. I think you had a massive. I think you had a multi-$1,000 business.
It was probably the worst 3 weeks month of my life. It was awful.
Do you remember that?
A lot of boxes. Yeah, you go on live stream.
The best fucking content.
It started going. We were getting up to like 100,000 concurrents watching these unboxings for like 4 hours. But it started like almost everything we do organically. I showed an address of a frozen pizza by accident, people sending it, but it was where I lived. So, people are sending me dead animals and trying to they're trying to do like live chickens and shit, like cockroaches. So I didn't know what I was opening. And my routine would literally be, I start the unboxing, I think at 8. I'd be done with the unboxing. I mean, I still have like scars on my hand. I'd be done, 3 or 4 in the morning. We'd have Serve Pro, which is actually an international like disaster recovery company, come clean the apartment. By the time it was clean, it was time to do it again. And there was nothing to do. So, but what made it work was that it was real. Like, towards the end, it got so big, we moved it to the office. It wasn't the same. It was coming to my house and ruining my life.
Were you not scared of having people send you some shit?
Yes, that's why I have 2 bathrooms in the old place. My tub was filled with like koi fish. I had like 3 other fish and things.
There was a horrible ending to that. I mean, one of the saddest days of
Randolph. When Randolph died. Yeah. No, it was.
Who's Randolph?
Yeah, it was my goldfish. Like, I got sent goldfish. Yeah.
What did he do? He jumped out.
He killed himself. He did. He killed himself. He really did. He committed suicide.
Yeah, he did. And I would too. That living where you have nowhere to go and it's just trash. And again, people started towards it's going like, we're going to get him. We're going to get you. Open something, cockroaches come out in your apartment. It's like, fuck no. Yeah. So yes, I got why it was viral, but
I sent my merch. Oh,
you did?
I
Yeah,
sent nicer.
the chair.
Yeah.
Do you still do that?
No, I sent a love sack too, but I sent my clothing.
I still get people talking about that. I mean, we got so much shit. Yeah, it was great because it's real or organic, but it was unsustainable.
It's crazy how, like, you were one of the first content creators. Like, it's crazy how much you have your finger on the pulse, because it's not likely to happen for someone in our age bracket. Like, for you to be able to say, okay, X event has happened in the world, I'm now going to activate on said topic, and it works pretty much every fucking time.
Yeah,
which is crazy to see in a 35. I'll say 35 plus.
Yeah, sometimes
bracket.
we may get too much credit for that, or I do. What we're good at, and I don't think it's rocket science, is people reacted instantly. So it's like, oh, this is good. Let's lean into it. We've done plenty of things that haven't. It's like, oh, we won't do that anymore. People aren't interested. It's probably similar to you guys with the fighting, and it's clearly resonating and gets people going. It's like, let me lean into it. So you play with the hand you're dealt. Like, I'm not going to be fighting or do anything like that. So the pizza worked. Like, that was not planned out, but it worked, and people liked it. During COVID, it was the stock trading. Like, when I started doing the stock market, I mean,
Davey Day Trader.
that I took over Wall Street. Like, that's all. I was the only person people were talking about on Wall Street. It was at Wall Street Journal, New York, every day. It's like, what's Dave doing? They featured me on Billions. There was like a spoof of me stock trading on Billions, like a crazy guy in his thing, like hitting a bell and shit like that. But it resonated instantly. Like, it just, the second I did it, people were like, what is he doing? He's like, he's putting $1 million into Shake Shack because a fat guy said people get hungry at lunch, which we were doing.
Well, you guys also have the benefit of being able to be nimble because of the nature of your company, which is really nice. Coming up in this internet landscape, having the ability to pivot on the dime and follow a trend or do something that your audience resonates with is something that these larger corporations can't, because of all the hoops that they have to jump through. And even like traditional actors and celebrities. I mean, bro, the fact that these people came to your pizza review thing with makeup is fucking
Insane,
ridiculous.
right?
That's not like that's not real life at all. But like,
And they didn't even know. I'm me. I was like, what the fuck are you doing?
What are you
Like, and I
doing?
didn't know. I'm
Why
like,
are you
what do you
doing
mean? What?
this?
It's like, you're putting on makeup. You're like fucking John Hamm. Like, what, don't worry
That's
about it.
such a killer to like a social first program. Like, it's like, that's why I always get really worried when I see some of these like big social creators start to bleed into the mainstream. Like, I remember when you did the pizza review with Addison,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And I think it was right when she was starting to pop off. And did she have makeup before?
No, she was actually super cool.
No,
Laid
Addison's
back.
great.
Yeah,
I actually
yeah.
just ran into her the other day. She's amazing. But it's always interesting to see what happens when
That, even if I do podcasts, if somebody and my people don't even tell me because they know, but if we have a guest and their PR or their whoever is like, you can't ask about this, it's literally the first thing I ask.
No
it's like your PR person said,
did you get or I'm assuming you didn't, but any of that shit with Rogan? Because I heard he doesn't let publicists in the room. You just walk in there and anything.
well, I don't have a publicist, so it wasn't. We
yeah,
weren't
but
trying.
walk us through that experience a little bit.
So
Just
The Joe Rogan
briefly.
experience.
Yeah, exactly.
His studio's awesome. It's fucking huge. This thing coming down. So he's got like and I'm sure people following, he's got like an archery range. He's got all a weight room that looks like it's built for like a football team. So he came in, gave me a tour of the office. He's such a fight guy. Like, he's got pictures of people like Russian wrestlers and things like that. So he gave me the tour, and then we just kind of went.
You guys on that tour talking about anything topical? Is he worried in a way that I sometimes get having conversation?
Give anything away? No. It was just like, coming in, doing his 3-hour thing. And I think he puts them together and goes. It was pretty laid back.
I wanted to ask you, because you do a lot, and we often find ourselves forgetting everything. For example, everything that's ever been said on this podcast and every guest we've ever had. Couldn't name one. I could name you because you're here right now,
Right,
but
yep.
I forget everything, Dave. My long-term memory is so poor. Do you experience any of that?
I think it's an age thing for me. Like, I can tell a little bit that I'm slowing down my brain.
Yeah,
For sure.
same.
But it is what it is. But yeah.
Do you think it's because of your age, or you slowly stop giving a fuck?
No, it's the age, I think. You never know. I've taken a lot of fucking Adderall. Like I used to take so much of it. I don't know if that fucks with your brain at all. I think it kind of does.
I mean,
memory.
anything that changes your brain chemistry does. But I talked to my mom about this, and I told her a similar thing that you just said, which was like a worry of mine. I'm like, Mom, I don't really remember a lot of stuff. And she's
things.
like, listen, that's how it goes. But if someone brings something up to you specifically, you'll remember it like it was yesterday. You know what I'm saying?
Did you experience like a groundswell of Rogan fans or the people that maybe didn't know who Dave Portnoy was now being turned on to you?
I definitely some. Like you get the experience like the next day. I do my hot boy walks every day. I walk like three. I can't do anything but walk, so I do like a 3-mile walk. And like a lot of people are like, oh, listening to you on Rogan. And,
that's cool.
I know how big it obviously is. It's gigantic, but I didn't notice anything too different in my world.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Mr. Beast seemed to. I mean, maybe it's just because the demo doesn't overlap as much, but he seemed to think that the Rogan audience really
I don't even
reacted
know
to it.
how Mr. Beast would judge that.
I think it's people either seeing him in real life or commenting on his stuff.
Maybe.
Watch you on Rogan. Wow.
Yeah. I definitely got a ton
No,
of
but
Yeah,
think
but
about it
Mr.
from
Beast
an
is a
age.
piece of
Yeah.
shit. He's just curing blindness and shit.
Yeah.
Think about it from an age bracket standpoint. You know what I'm saying? Like you clearly have a lot more overlap with Rogan fans than Mr. Beast does.
Yeah.
Mr. Beast caters to a much younger audience.
And I think a lot of people probably were coming up to me and saying stuff already was that cross. So like, hey, I loved you on Rogan. If you didn't know that. It was an interesting interview. It's the same as anything. I think Rogan gets a lot of like what I get or fans. It's like some people are like, it's great. Some people are like, it was terrible. There wasn't much in between.
Were you nervous at all? And I asked that because being someone that plays in the content space and sits down with idiots from time to time on couches and talks about, rough and rowdy and this kind of, you go on this show with someone who has neuroscientists on the show, someone who talks to people about the history of fucking, landmines and whatever, right? and you come and you sit down. Do you feel a little bit more pressure than an average?
No, because I can only talk about what I know. So, I mean, I knew it was a huge opportunity. It takes a lot for me to be like, oh yeah, no, I'm excited. Like when he asked, I was like, whoa, that's like a big opportunity. Yeah, it's Rogan, and like you said, introduce us to a new base. So it's definitely excited. And like, there's probably a handful. I don't know who they'd be. Where it's like, hey, can you do this date? Like, yep, I'll jump on a plane. I'll be there. Like that was a no-brainer to do.
Is Sofia in that handful?
Man. I will let sleeping dogs lie with that. I know she's your best buddy.
Dude, listen, it just keeps popping back up. I did a great show with her. It came up. I think she wants to mend the bridge, bro. I really do. I feel like she wants to.
I didn't do anything like except be probably over the top with memes after it happened. But like my version of events is 100% the truth.
Dude, Suit Guy's life has changed forever, bro, because of that shit.
Somebody saw him the other day at a fight. I don't know. Whatever. It's on to the next.
Do you respect the slap fighting thing that's going on right now? Dana White just started a new competition.
He loves it. It's the numbers are clearly huge on social, gigantic.
I think it's because it's new, but like, do you respect it as an actual sport?
No, but I mean that doesn't. What does that mean? It's entertaining. Like, and entertaining is the name of the game, right?
Is it safe?
It doesn't look safe when people are going crazy, but I mean, the early UFC, right? They were fighting like different weight classes. You could fight anybody.
Right.
600, and you fought 10 times in one night.
Right.
So, and then they get the regulation. I don't know. It's built for the internet.
He was supposed to do that.
Be a contestant?
Yes. So way before it was even a seed in Dana's mind, I think, he was, we used to watch the videos of it going on in Russia, and it was a massive thing in Russia. Right, and he wanted, and how did you end up getting connected to possibly doing it?
It originated in Russia. It was going crazy viral. These slap videos would
That's
go
what I mean.
crazy on
They're
Facebook.
built for the internet.
I found the organization that puts on the slap fighting contests, and I decided that I wanted to enter as a participant. We actually scripted a whole thing around it. It was going to be like a mockumentary.
Our second one.
With me actually entering the slap fighting competition. And so I was like practicing slaps for like 3 weeks. I had a guy come to my house who was like the United States slap expert.
Yeah.
So this guy standing across from me, 300-pound guy, large man. And he's like, yeah, just like, one shot, open palm. Let's see what you got. Let's see where you're at. Let's see where your starting point is. Fucking cock back. It sounds like a whip. Knock this guy out.
Yeah, I've seen this, right?
Unconscious, yeah.
It is on,
Drops
it
like
is
a
on the
sack of
internet. Yeah, I've
potatoes.
seen it.
My man's sitting there asking me who he is, what he's doing here, what happened. And I'm looking at my palm like, hold on a second. I could do this to any man that stands across from me if they're just standing there. And it is fucking not a great feeling. And also, they can do the same thing to me.
That was the problem.
The question, I guess, with it, it's like, is there gonna, if it develops, is there gonna be some sort of skill? Like, guys have good chins, guys.
No, there's no skill set.
No,
there's zero skill set.
No, that is part of it.
But
It's
why?
a neck
No,
workout.
No, it's not.
No.
The
It is
UFC,
a part
it's
of
like
it.
playing chess. He's gonna throw a move. I'm gonna counteract it with this move. There's no counteracting.
No, but
standing
there
there getting
is no, but
smacked.
there is a ton of strategy. These guys are it is. I'm sorry, it is a sport. There's a ton of strategy around strengthening
if
your
you
jaw,
develop
strengthening
it that
correct.
way, then you have a sport, and then you go sell it to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, which is 100%. Like, I literally sit around with my team of people. It's like, what can we make that they will buy? That is the only business that people should be making.
I think I'm doing burger concept with them.
Literally
In Jeddah.
It's like,
It's
I don't know why.
it's done right
I don't know why they don't want to buy a media company. It's like, we'll whitewash the shit out of you. Tell us, I will suck the king's dick if they want to. Give me like $100 billion and we'll fucking go. That telecast, the Tommy Fury, Jake Paul, every other word was thank you to the Kingdom of Saudi. It's like, Jesus Christ, but I'll do that. Like, they're fucking Live Golf. Farady's getting like 30 million. I've said publicly, we will sell to Saudi Arabia. I don't give a fuck.
Saudi's great.
It's
Saudi's great.
You're on the payroll. Yeah, WWE. They're going to sell to them, right?
They are actively.
They'll buy anything.
That's not what I was gonna say. I mean, there's obviously been a bunch of turmoil and people, having this to say and that to say, but they're modernizing, like, and they're going through growing pains. They've gone through growing pains as a country, and I think they're doing what they have to do to be competitive in the global market. I mean, oil is not a one-stop shop. There has to be other revenue.
Do you think they're
streams.
planning for the future?
No, that's what they are doing.
Oh, I never even thought of it that way.
No, that's what.
I never thought of it
this
that
guy
way.
already said he's on the payroll. He's doing the burger thing. I'm in.
No, I just never thought about the oil thing. I never thought about the oil thing.
Oh, you think one of the richest countries in the world is planning for their future?
I was talking about the oil part.
No, they are. They're diversifying them, Qatar, and
honest,
all of UAE are
What do we
diversifying
build?
because, dude, I'm honestly, fossil fuels are gonna run out.
So let's build something and let's fucking sell it to the king.
Can you make a halal version of Barstool?
I don't know.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know
need
exactly.
a halal vision. Like, you probably have the ear to the whoever. I don't know, the promoter. It wasn't Jake. It wasn't Nikisa. It was his equivalent. Whoever was talking, I mean, he just kept saying, we want big events, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Thank you, the Prince, for bringing us.
Yeah, they're going to
Turk?
go hard. I think they're trying to turn Riyadh into like a Vegas, like a hub of sports entertainment, and they're probably going to do it because they're innovative, they're creative, they have the money.
Number three is
the
huge.
environment. I'm telling you, is awesome. Like no one expects to go to Riyadh and have fun. It's awesome.
No.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at some of the stuff that Riyadh and Jeddah are doing right now, they're building some of the most insane infrastructural.
I've heard.
Ever
It's an
will blow Dubai in terms of what they've done out of the water.
No, I've heard.
Literally,
Listen.
I mean, they're building a.
What was that fight like? Not to cut out, like the atmosphere. It looked weird on TV.
I didn't go, but
It was fine.
Was it like loud?
Yeah, it got loud. It was cool. It was like the problem was it was outside and there was about 8,000 people there. So the sound kind of went up instead of being like collected by a dome, and there wasn't as many people there as like Jake has done 15, 16,000 people. Like it was as loud as it could be. It was fine. It was great.
it wasn't at the same place as Jewel, right?
They made the stadium. That's the other thing. They'll just build things in 12
I mean, you saw what
days.
happened with World Cup for Qatar. I mean, they're just like, we need 8 stadiums.
What
and
happens
obviously,
to that place afterwards? Is it just ghost town
some
now?
of them, I think, stayed. I think the
place
finals.
the place that Jake fought got took down the next day.
I'm sorry.
Taken down.
That's nuts.
It's gone. It's completely gone. It was a parking lot.
That's crazy.
The one final note on I'll say is you'll go there and you'll have never experienced such a hospitable people I mean, it's in their culture. It's in their religion to be extremely hospitable to guests. And I mean, dude, like
When were you there?
for Crown Jewel when I got beat up by the
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's right.
when me and George got our asses
Yeah,
beat.
that's right, I saw
But
that.
I mean, it's in their culture to like they'll see you out and be like, oh, I've seen your stuff. Come to my home.
Yeah.
Like come to my house right now. And by the way, like you can't say no really because they'll grab your beard, which means like I'm not accepting your no answer.
This is a true
there's-
thing.
Yeah, so they were yanking on my beard, like no, you're coming to my house. You're gonna sit
Yeah,
on
right.
the floor with my family on a rug.
Yeah.
and eat. And the food is, I mean, it's fantastic. You'll love it there.
Gotta just find something to sell them.
I'll see if
They're
there's
buyers. Like the live golf thing. It's like all of it. The wrestling, live, all of it.
It's crazy.
The fights.
Don't talk about live, please.
Golf?
No, just live the word live when I'm in Miami. Just
please.
leave it out of your mouth. I don't need to be put a
Who
gun
was
to
there?
it.
Who performed last night?
DJ Khaled.
Are you going there again tonight?
Aoki's there. Who knows? Good friend.
That's all we got, Dave.
Do you want to go?
I'm good. I got a boat thing, then dinner, then out.
Boating today?
Yeah.
Whose
You know
boat?
why?
Whose boat?
So I'm getting a place in Miami that was being worked on last time I was on your show. It just never is going to be done, but it is getting somewhat close to conclusion. There is a dock. So I went to the boat show, which was here a couple of weeks ago. I was just looking around. I must have like a big sucker on my forehead. So everybody's like, hey, take the boat out. So I just got a million boats that we can just go cruise around, see if we like them.
Sick.
Are you about to buy?
I'll probably get one because I have the dock, even though there's not one human alive who says the boat's a good purchase.
No,
Everyone's
yeah.
like, best day is when you buy it, best day is when you sell
Right.
it. I know that going in. So, the 3 Fs, if it like flies, fucks, or floats, rent it.
Break out another 1,000.
Yeah, no, but yeah, I don't know. I probably will. So, anyways, a super nice boat. The guy's like, take it out, see if you like it. Kind of like a timeshare. I'll probably be in my asshole being like, you're going to buy it, you're going to buy it, you're going to buy it. I'll be like, take me home. But yeah, we're doing that later.
Well, Dave, thanks for coming on.
No,
man.
it's always
Yeah,
fun.
yeah, this was great, guys. Hit up Dave Portnoy on social media, y'all. Download the Barstool Sportsbook for all your sports betting needs. We love you, Dave. We'll see you next time, guys. Hit that subscribe button. Take it easy. Peace.